I have done an internship at my institute, which is Institute of Technology of Cambodia, by requesting to Dr. Volidana, who is a researcher and a lecturer at Institute of Technology of Cambodia. And he is also both my advisor and my supervisor during my 2 months and a half internship. My internship is supposed to do at laboratory, which names natural language processing and computer vision laboratory, where I'm supposed to do my research there. However, since there's COVID-19, I have to do my research via online. From the first week of my internship, my advisor has have an online meeting for every Monday, once to learn and get advice from him, and also to learn from other researchers in the laboratory who do research there to set experience from the research. And starting from 30 August, my supervisor created another meeting on every Tuesday to check the result and the process of anyone in his supervision. Also, the reason that I started this research was due to my interest in deep learning, and which was first inspired by Jan LeCun, who is a French scientist. He's touring a lecture titled "The Deep Learning Revolution: The Sequel." The lectures made me realize that this is a real science and makes sense that I actually can develop models to predict or learn by itself. Then I began to look for a problem that can be solved with deep learning approach to start my first career in this um, in this deep learning. Finally, I decided to choose to make a model that can predict whether any person is wearing a mask or not, using deep learning approach to make it able to be used during this coronavirus disease 19 epidemic. My research objective is to study on existing architectures to apply on face detection and face mask detection, combined with other frameworks to make a model for face mask detection to be able to detect on both image and video. The process of the research had been divided to four categories. In the first 2 weeks, I spent time on learning necessary frameworks such as Keras, OpenCV, and analyzes the workflow and design to make the complete face mask detection model. Also, from the second weeks to the final weeks, I started to implement step by step to make my code more organized and better. And then the last two final weeks, I began to debug and test whether there's any problem with my implementation to make sure that it can run smoothly in the process. I use technology and language such as Python as the main language, open source software as TensorFlow, Keras as the application of data augmentation, and to process transfer learning and functioning of architectures ResNet 50 and DenseNet 201. I use OpenCV and NumPy to apply image data processing to fit into the model, using DLEEP to detect any faces in the image or video. Anyhow, the DLEEP is written in C++ and has been buried with Python to use with this project. And also, there are more approaches to use to create mask detection models, such as visual geometric group network, cluster region-based convolutional neural network, Alex network, Go network, CF network. And these mentioned architectures are mostly from the best paper from Computer Science Conference. And now let's move to the next chapter. We move to analysis and design. And here I'm going to talk about how to create a first mask detection model. And first, I use convolutional networks from library DLEEP to first detect any faces of people in the image or video. After that, I use the ResNet 50 and DenseNet 201 model that have been made by using transfer learning and fine-tuning method to detect those faces, whether anyone is wearing mask or not. Both ResNet 50 and DenseNet 201 have both advantages and disadvantages over each other. ResNet is faster than DenseNet 201 since it has less layers than DenseNet 201. However, its accuracy is less accurate than DenseNet 201. Now, I would like to briefly talk about ResNet and DenseNet. First, we will go with ResNet. ResNet's full name is the Residual Learning for Image Recognition. It was a winner in ImageNet Challenge in 2015. The problem that ResNet solved is the degradation problem. When deeper networks are able to start converging, a degradation problem has been exposed. With network deep increasing, accuracy gets saturated, when decrease rapidly. Such degradation is not caused by overfitting, and adding more layers to suitably the model lead to a higher training error. Thanks to some problem like vanishing gradient and the cost of dimensionality, if we have sufficiently depth networks, it may not be able to learn simple function like an identity function. In the word, the creation problem is that the model has difficulties in approximating identity mapping by multiple nonlinear layers. Hence, to solve this, Resner proposed a solution by using shortcut or skip connections. Then we can stack residual blobs more and more without degradation in performance. Now let's move to DenseNet to DenseNet. DenseNet is the best paper in 2015 from the Conference on Computer Vision and Pattern Recognitions. It stands for Densely Connected Convolutional Network. The problem that DenseNet tries to solve is actually inside the ResNet. The author of DenseNet argued that the element device condition, which is called summation, is actually embedded the information flow inside the network. DenseNet solves this problem by using concatenation. For now, let's move to the implementation part. And as you can look in the left side of the image is the picture that we humans see. And the right side is actually what computers see, which is a bunch of numbers that are known as pixels. Hence, to make a computer can understand and recognize some object, it is actually from doing a lot of computations. To create a face mask detection model and use a dataset from Kaggle platform. Training set consists of around 10,000 images with 500 images with mask and 5,000 images without mask, and a test set of 992 images with 480 with mask and 509 images without mask, and for a validation set with 800 images with 400 of images with mask and 400 images without mask. And then for the new unseen data set, it contains of 492 images with 2,046 with mask and 2,046 images without mask. And in those datasets, the image resolution in the dataset is around from 28 times 20 pixels to 563 times 563 pixels. And after that, we do the data augmentation. We can increase our data when we train the model. And then we need to apply image processing with NumPy and OpenCV to fit images in the data as input on the model with 128 times 128 pixels for ResNet 50 and 224 times 224 pixels for DenseNet 201. This is the result of our ResNet 50 and DenseNet 201 models. For evaluation method, we use confusion matrix. And the table here is the result of our model of ResNet 50 and DenseNet 201 for training set, test set, validation set, new unseen data set, and video. And for trains for ResNet in the training set, it gets accuracy of 90.87%, test set 100%, validation 19.76%, new unseen data set 94.00%, and for video is 97.65%. And for DenseNet, we get a accuracy for training set is 99.83%, for test set 98%, validation set 97.55%, new unseen data set 84%, and video is 99.64%. And for training set, test set, and validations, for validation sets being evaluated with confusion matrix, and for new unseen data set, I evaluate manually by taking the right prediction divide to all the images in the data set. And for video, the evaluation method is that we know that video is a contiguous frame, so I take each frame from the video of 20 frames, and then I plus the accuracy and then divide it by 20, and I get the result here. And as you can see, the picture below here is the result of our is an example of our models to predict the image. Now let's move to the next part, which is conclusion. In the conclusion, I will talk about the difficulties and experience. So the difficulty that I've encountered during my internship is that it is really time consuming when training models because I have to treat the hyperparameters for many times to train the models, which means that I have to train the models many times to get the best hyperparameters for the model. So it really takes a lot of time. And also, I really get a huge amount of experience from this internship because I get to know how to use new frameworks such as dlib and learning how to use Keras more efficiently. And one of the most impact during my internship is a thing that I get a new different perspective to the field of deep learning when being supervised by my advisor. And also, I get to understand the concept of object detection and use it to apply on other objects because it has the same concept. I just have to use different data set to get new object detection, and also get to understand about ResNet and DenseNet, which are really useful for me because it is a first step. It is a first step for me to begin this career as a researcher. And that's all for my conclusion. And now let's move to the demonstration part. I will show you how my model works. First, I will be using DenseNet to detect an image. It will take a little bit of time because the image when training with this DenseNet 2.1 is really high resolution.
But now you can fast forward to the video to the.
So here's the result of DenseNet 2.1 to detect face mask detection on image. Now we move to use ResNet to detect on image. So here is the result of ResNet 50 to detect on image with a group of people. So like this guy, the dlib, the CNN from dlib is not able to detect face, so it will not be used by ResNet to detect whether a person is wearing mask or not. And now let's move to using ResNet 2 to detect whether a video with a person is wearing mask or not. So here's me, and then since I have no mask, it gets that no mask 100%. Now if I wear a mask, then the result is that I am with mask 100%, and it works just fine. And here's the mode for ResNet 15. I'm going to detect for DenseNet 201. Here, DenseNet 201 is a little bit slower. As you can see, that the frame is only around 2 frames per second, but it works just fine. So we put mask, and then it goes to 99.99% that I'm wearing mask. If I put myself, and it's just detected I have no mask 100%. So that's all for my presentation of the face mask detection model. Thank you for listening and paying attention to this presentation. Thank you very much. That's all for my presentation, teacher.
Okay. Yes. Thank you, Watana, for the presentation. Yes. Any question from our juries?
Hello, do you hear me?
Yes.
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 Thank you for your presentation, and it is very interesting topic regarding the research topic. But firstly, I want to have a comment first, and then I will have a question.
Yes, teacher.
So my comment regarding the slide presentation. So normally, in order to present research topics, basically you have to present your introduction with your literature review first, because it's like you try to find the existing, or maybe the method, or maybe the innovation of doing the research on the projects, and then you come up with the problem, and then you have objective, or maybe you can study their methodology in the paper that you have read. So this is from what I think. You should present that first, and then you come up with your curiosity, and then you can come up with your objective, or maybe the problem that you found from the previous research. So this is in the slide presentation, that what I think. And secondly, the question, you have mentioned that you have do some literature review on visual geometry group net, VGG net, or fast region-based CNN. So can you tell me about the problem on that research, or maybe the topic, and give some what is their methodology or proposed solution on that literature review? And comparing to your problem, what is the difference, or maybe what is the point that you propose a new solution?
Actually, I really train those VCG growth network, but what I know is that those networks like VCG network, faster region-based network, Alex network, or Google Network and CF network, they are made from convolutional networks, and I can assume that because it is made from convolutional network, I think it is able to use as to create the very smart detection model. And to train those, I think it takes a lot of time, and I don't really have much time to train those networks. Teacher.
Okay, I would like to explain a bit between the research and development. When you tell me that you search on the visual geometry group net, how they work or something like that, it is not the research. It's just like you learn the method they use. So basically, the research, you have to study their finding, their
Yeah.
solution on the specific problem, and then you come up a new problem, and then you come up with a new objective, a new proposed solution or methodology, and then you apply any method or any algorithm you think that would be best for your topic, or for your actual learning. So that would be the research. So I just give the question that what you should read the literature review carefully regarding not only the method they use, but the problem, the solution or methodology, or the result of their works, so that you can include in your topic, in your projects, that this research has some problem on this part, and this research has result on this accuracy, and then you come up with a new solution that would improve that accuracy. So that how the research work. Not
Just
only just study the method, and then it would be the research. That is the wrong point from my overview.
yeah.
Yes, that enough for my question. So let's move to other jury.
Yes, teacher. Thank you for comments and your question.
Okay. Actually, I'm not into research field, so I'm in a development sector, so I don't really have question with the research. But anyway, I found your research topic is interesting because we are during the COVID pandemic. My question here is, Do you think how can you apply your research here into the real case?
So to apply this into the real case, the method that I think that it can be used is to input this feature into with other models, such as that we all know that there is already a machine that can, when we work or when we run, we can get detected by those machines to detect whether to detect our I mean detect cầm đại bao dương. I don't know how to speak in English with this. So there's already a sensor that can detect that. So I think we can use this mouse detection model to input with those features, and we can create whether a person is wearing mask when they go to school or they go to any institutes. So if he has no mask, then we can use the machine to alert or do something more like that. That's my answer.
I get what you mean, but for me, as I said before, I'm not really in the research field. So when I think what I can apply the research into the real case, you mentioned that you want to use this inside the temperature detector.
Yes.
But I believe that every temperature detector that we see nowadays when we go to coffee shop, we see that they put some device there. It's kind of a compact device that it already exists. The software is inside, the hardware is already there. How can we implement your research in to put it to work with those devices? Do you think is it possible to do that?
Yes, I think we should just create another file and then we can use it to bind with other models, and I think it can be used. I think it is possible to do that.
How about the performance? Is it require a high capacity device to run your software, or is it it's very small? It can be run by any computer like that.
I think for DanceNet 201 is a little bit. I think it is requires more strong computer to compute, but for ResNet 50, I think it is able to use with other computers even it is really not strong. So I think for ResNet 50 can be used almost everywhere. Yep, teacher.
All right. My last question, because I see in your data set when you show us during your demonstration, mostly I see the mask is white or blue. How about the other color like black or maybe some color that very similar to human skin? Have you tested all those data as well?
I didn't really test with other mask color because my mask contain only blue and black, and I didn't try with other masks. And it's also have with a plastic mask. It's something like a plastic mask, and it detects normally. It can detect also a plastic mask. I mean like a matte. Yep.
Okay, I'm just curious because I didn't see you put any image like what is that. But anyway, thank you for your presentation, and that's it from me.
Okay, any more questions from the jury? Lana, do you have any question?
I was wondering about. I'm not sure about the process of your work because maybe I cannot hear well with the sound quality of the video. Is it a implementing prototype or is it just operating the prototype by training the model from dataset?
I operating the training from the data set.
And okay.
Yeah.
And where do you get the data set from? The training set from?
The data set I get it from Kaggle platform. It is an online platform and it has many data set that can be used by data science practitioner. Yep, teacher.
And so every image that is annotated as a mask or without mask, we can rely on those data, right? Because maybe someone already annotated, right?
Yes, teacher. The data has been categorized to two categories. The first one is with mask, and the second one is without mask. So we can use our machine learning model to predict whether a folder with mask and a folder without mask. They can recognize. Yes.
How about the existing work? Is there any application or any research that have done on the, the mass detection before?
Yes, teacher. There is actually already face detection models, and they maybe they use a different ways like other architectures, like I have mentioned in the previous part about the architectures. It is already existing, teacher.
And why do you I want to clarify again, why do you decide to train like two model and compare it among the other?
Because actually I'm interested in Rust the architecture RustNet and DenseNet. It is popular and I want to study those two models to begin with my career as a researcher. So I read those papers and try to make a use of it.
Yeah, so the work is basically um for more like for curiosity and learning more than to find something new, right?
Yes, teacher.
Yeah,
Because
like the first step. Uh, and how about the training? Does it depend on the capacity of the machine or not?
yes, it depends on the capacity of the machine. And actually, I train it online using Google Collaboratory because it has GPU. Since it has GPU, it can speed up my learning, my model to learn. So if I use it with just my computer, it's going to heat up and sometimes going to shut down. So I decided to use on Google Colab.
Okay, thank you. That's all my question. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, teacher.
Okay, yes, I just want to add a little bit to this. Yes, I would like to yes appreciate the work of Watanar that you can achieve this result. Yes, actually, for the research, it's like Lukru Vanat has mentioned, we have to find something new. We can say that we have to find some novelty to add something new to the existing finding. But actually, it takes time, like for in order to do something like this, to find something new, you have to spend like 6 to 2 or 3 years. And for Watanabe work, it is only for 2 months. And as you know, like I mentioned just yesterday as well, in our year 4 curriculum, we don't have any kind of lecture about how to do research. So yes, it is just like uh, a learning period for the student in order to get themselves into the research and to try to experiment with some new some architectures, some deep learning architectures to find out if it works or not. So I think after 2 months and you have done and you have achieved this result, it is very good already. Yes. Okay,
Yes.
so thank you. So let's move to the next presentation. The topic is face recognition, and it will be presented by Mr. Pirun. Pirun, are you here?
Sorry, because my internet is unstable. I can share đây là cũng share bán tại khai cho việc đặt cho đặt cái này việc đặt.
Yes. នេះយើងមានតែគេអាច share បានជប់ដោយសារខ្ញុំអត់ទាន់បាន download មកហ្នឹងហើយដោយសារតែលោកគ្រូវណ្ណាតគាត់ download ប៉ុន្តែឥឡូវតែគាត់ដាច់ភ្លើងគាត់អត់អាចចូលបានជប់ខ្ញុំអាច live stream សាកល្បង Okay, please wait. Okay, can you see the video and hear the sound?
ណាដូចអត់មានឃើញចុច play ប៉ុណ្ណឹង
ចឹងនិយាយមិញលឺអត់
មិញនឹងអត់ដូចអត់លឺផង play ភាសាទៀតមកអត់លឺទេទៅតែ include page share ហ្នឹងunshare share ឡើង include system sound
ជប់
In face recognition model and
Okay, lឺ
introduction. Face recognition can be defined as the process.
លឺហើយ
Okay, now let's start the presentation.
And communication engineering. Today I'm going to talk about a project with a name as convolutional neural network application in face recognition model. And introduction. Face recognition can be defined as the process of establishing a person's identity based on their facial characteristics. And face can be captured at a longer distance use non-contact sensor. And training machine to recognize fake image exhibiting such unconstrained intra-user variation is a difficult task. And research objective. This research has two primary existing approach and convolutional neural network in face recognition model. And firstly, I will talk about existing approach. And nowadays, for face recognition, is a first one of the principal component analysis which used to a lower dimension by keeping important feature and throw away an important one. And the second one is LDA, which use a linear method to partition the data and maximize difference between a classes. And the maximize difference is within a class. And next one is fully connecting a neural network. And it has a lot because there are many two parameters in the training model, and there are also many other kind of approach. Then the basic idea of the convolution is so as an image. Yes, like the parameters, so it stands for input, and W stands for weight, and G stands for activation function, and O stands for output. And there are multiple kind of network, but there are multiple kind of layer in the network. And the first one is the import layer, and the last one is the output layer. Between these two layers is the hidden layer, which contains three main layers like a convolution layer and pooling layer and fully connected layer. Convolution layer used to connect slide on the image to get a convolution result as output, and the lecture in the image, and this layer is used to extract feature is at the output can be regarded as a feature of the image, and number of the layer really well matter because too many convolution layer we get two feature with cost of a parameter increase greatly, and another way across a reduction and efficiency of the training model well as the same time to a few layer will cause the problem that you make you don't know what whether the extracted feature and can be now is the classifier, and to do the classification work. And the next one is pooling connected pooling layer, and pooling layer like the process shown in the picture is the region the same color is represented by mass number, and it's like the gray region 1, 2, 3, 4. It has four numbers. So the max of two max pooling method to get a max number to get a region with the four as the output can be have to reduce the calculation because the number data increase when the next layer is the addition the pooling method like average pooling may also apply. I choose the max pooling as the average pooling. The average pooling is we not introduce detail. And the fully connecting layer is the layer also be regarded as a filter to do the convolution process of the input data merge the feature. The output will be a single value. This layer used to reduce the effects of the transition and pixel. So the feature are extracted. We will not be limited on the special part of the image, and that help to increase the robust abilities of the trainer model design. And the activation function is used to activate feature and its output when input toward model reaches the predefined threshold. Here the program used to window function, and which show the picture where when the input below a zero returns zero, and otherwise we turn input the value. And the advent of the function include that kind cover you coverage fast so much function can I be chosen, but it has already proven that with case a termination liars and get better without training. In the programming part, uh, let this whole concept of CNN. Firstly, you get import data from image and then import data into the convolution layer, and then the pooling layer. These are two kind of source convolution of the layer can be multiple, can be the output, the master pooling layer, regardless as the input fully connected layer. Then we get the output. The next program is the step of getting image, and the preprocessed dump and occurs to classify or train by import this preprocessed dump and occurs the classify training import this image function. This part is which I will show later in the programming demo, then the experiment, and the result of as so like the image accuracy is so that I will report the byte processing time and to lose the performance of the classifier going to a better when the loss is small. And when I test the classifier, is image I show my own picture from the camera output. We show name like a Pirun, and is import and the fake that how image into the tattoo. That's one is the show the other name. And since I haven't to get enough data, train the model, and my laptop have limited to ability deal with amount of convolution. Then let me show the program. Program we divide it into 4 parts, and the next part we use Google Colab to train this model. And the first part get fake from webcam and is used to predefine a frame to call camera capture fake by using hashcast fake detection. And then do the image process like deal with the size of image. And here I set the path directory image folder, and we use file to get more image. Then we use the loop to break the wrong condition. The next program is a get fake from the image. So I import the image which I download from the internet. Is there are many other species and do almost the same process to the feature about the size like the first part, and then go to the training step. Now here we getting dataset and we look for zip and dataset exploration, and we show more detail and dataset visualization and training dataset by predict some picture and testing dataset, and now move to the model preparation. And there are multiple functions to deal with the image size, like and we may get the different size of image after processing by a convolution layer or pooling layer. So here we use the Keras, and we use Keras pre-processing image data generator and Keras flow from the vector generator, and class index have numeric change from each fake. And now we get the data model section. The important part in this program, in the training part, I define these multiple layer. In the first layer, in the context, need to define the size of convolution kernel input and output size, and do convolution and the pooling step. And the second and the third layer is the almost like the first layer. And then we go to the flattening and the fully connected layer, and this layer the output layer after training the model and the program sell the best one. And now we move to the compiling this model and getting our model checkpoint. So this can be help to or not want to change all the model and time. We just want to use it just to this parameter, the frame, and use them whatever. And we need the during the process we get the output accuracy more than 92% is, and then we test some image, and then we predict graph training validation accuracy, and training validation loss, and finally the testable program uh, which load the parameter into file and sell from checkpoint file that those parameters. So here I use a real-time camera to capture my own face. by I capture image to 50 image, like this one we kept. Now complete. And this one use as the fake from the database to process by image. Here I held to the dataset to the registry path. I just run. Now we get to here and now complete. Train. The image, right here, and the training model is to here. Now we move to a demo line. Now we test the model and the camera. So the way the person in the front of the camera, you fake in the dataset so name, and here I just run. Now here, and I just stay along. Conclusion: FAIR is very envisioned for a training model in face recognition with half amount of input image data. There is a trend that the classes of farewell with farewell have more ecosystem with increasing demand on accuracy, and the speed of face recognition is almost all the area in the daily life. There is still a hub a space and to improve the performance of it in the future lives. And so that's all for today, and the last, thank you for watching.
Okay, so now let's move to the Q&A session. The juries, any question?
I have some simple question similar to the previous presenter question that been asked. If you want to train the model to recognize someone, do you need to like train it each time when the set of the target is changed? You have to train new data each time.
Yeah, yes, sir. Can clearly can understand.
You don't understand the question.
Yeah, yes.
នឹងខ្ញុំចង់សួរថាបើសិនជាខ្ញុំចង់រកមុខព្រោះវា detect មុខមនុស្សអីអញ្ចឹងបើខ្ញុំចង់រកមុខមនុស្សឧទាហរណ៍ set ខ្ញុំដំបូង target មាន5នាក់អញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំ train តាមភាសាចុះបើសិនជាមនុស្សនឹងព្រៃព្រោះចង់ train អ្នកផ្សេងទៀតខ្ញុំត្រូវ train ចង់ detect អ្នកផ្សេងខ្ញុំត្រូវ train តាមភាសាទៀតឬក៏មិនដែរ
បានឯកន្លែងហ្នឹងគឺម៉ូដែលហ្នឹងត្រូវ train សារទៀតដោយសារខ្ញុំអត់ទាន់មានវិធីធ្វើម៉េចដើម្បីយកម៉ូដែលហ្នឹងមកប្រើប្រាស់គាត់យើងទៅចូល data ទៅវាស្គាល់មកថាខ្ញុំអត់ទាន់ហ៊ានអត់ទាន់ដល់ខ្ញុំទៅតែចាប់បាន research
ចាអញ្ចឹងដើម្បីមើលឃើញតើអាចមាន data នៃគ្រប់គ្រាន់ដើម្បី detect face មួយហ្នឹងតើត្រូវការ train ទំហំ data ប្រមាណឧទាហរណ៍ប្រមាណរូបភាពឬមួយក៏ប្រមាណ degree នៃ face នឹងរូបដែលខុសគ្នាមិនអីមិនអញ្ចឹងតើត្រូវការលក្ខខណ្ឌអីគេខ្លះ
ទីមួយគឺដូចខ្ញុំបង្ហាញក្នុង step ហ្នឹងគឺត្រូវតែគាត់ត្រូវដាក់នោះគឺ feature មួយដែលអាច capture face របស់គាត់បានហើយមកតែរបស់ខ្ញុំបាន train រូបភាពលក្ខណៈខុសគ្នាទាំងអស់គឺរូបភាពរបស់ខ្ញុំហ្នឹងខ្ញុំដាក់រូបភាពប្រហែលជា300រូបភាពទៅមកផ្សេងទៀតខ្ញុំដាក់តិចជាងហ្នឹងអញ្ចឹងទៅ អ្នកដែលដាក់ទីជាងគេគឺ detect អត់សូវត្រូវតទៅចាប់ពី300ឡើងទៅបានអាចត្រូវ
Okay អរគុណច្រើនខ្ញុំមិនដឹងថាតើអាចឬមិនអាចទេដើម្បីគ្រាន់តែពន្យល់ពី idea របស់អា method ហ្នឹងតើធ្វើម៉េចបើវាអាច detect face មួយបានពួកយើងដឹងតែយើង train data យើងមានអីអញ្ចឹងប៉ុន្តែ idea ខាងក្រោយវាតើយើងអាច explain ជាសាមញ្ញបានឬក៏ concept ហ្នឹងមិនអាច explain បានវាដើរទៅខ្លួនវាយើងអាច explain បានឬក៏មិនបើសិនជាអាច explain បានជួយបញ្យល់តែបើអត់ទេប្រាប់ខ្ញុំថាអត់
ខ្ញុំសរសេរច្បាស់ប្រហែលហើយគ្រាន់តែខ្ញុំត្រូវប្រើតែ function ទាំងអស់ហ្នឹងដើម្បីឲ្យវាចាប់វា scan ទៅលើវាធ្វើការចាប់ទៅ pixel មួយក្នុងរូបភាពហ្នឹងចាប់ color ចាប់ពណ៌ហើយវាធ្វើការ compare គ្នាតើ color ពណ៌ដែលភាពនៅក្នុង data ហ្នឹងហើយនឹងនៅក្នុង rear camera ហ្នឹងវាដូចគ្នាអត់ដូចគ្នាវាអាចទាយឈ្មោះបានអញ្ចឹង
អរគុណច្រើនខ្ញុំអស់សំណួរហើយ
Any more questions from the juries?
I have a question as well. Let's imagine that we want to implement the face recognition inside our school. Let's say that we want to do some attendance scan. Imagine a student come into class and we detect if the student present or not, or student come late or not. Can you suggest an idea how can we implement it? How can we can detect that student coming or not, or like what I said?
This part of education is a small part in my whole project because we have a short time to do. My whole project is to smart attendance with recognition. I use to record student and record attendance and time and more. We use app.
What I want to know is the whole process. Imagine that I ask you to build the system. I'm a client. I want to create an attendance system where we can collect student attendance. And you need to tell me what are the process. For example, the first one, you need to collect photo from student. You need to do this, you need to do that before the system can work. Can you tell me?
But before a student, each student need to scan fake, by one and insert information yourself, and then we collect, and then we to train.
But hold on. You said to collect the photo. What kind of photo? Because when you say photo, it can yes, go on.
The photo is on by camera or real time, but I use app to capture by fake. So in the demo.
So so we take picture only the face, right? Not the whole.
Yeah. Only fake.
And then input information and what else? After that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now we collect photo. We collect a student face. Put student information like name, address, phone, for example. I want to know after that what do we do?
And then we set a task to the model, and this model is trained by myself, and then we can use the app because the model we build a function already.
And what do we need to scan or take student photo every year, or can we do it just single time at the beginning and 5 years later we still can use it, or what?
Yeah, teacher, this plan I can take later ក្រោយ
ខ្ញុំស្ដាប់អត់សូវបានខ្ញុំគ្រាន់តែចង់សួរថាតើរូបថតណាដែលយើងថតយកពីសិស្សមកហ្នឹងតើខ្ញុំថតតែម្ដងបានឬក៏ខ្ញុំត្រូវការថតរៀងរាល់ឆ្នាំចង់និយាយចេះព្រោះយើងដឹងថាសិស្សយើងរៀនឆ្នាំមិនអញ្ចឹងចឹងបើខ្ញុំថតឆ្នាំទី1តែខ្ញុំអាចប្រើប្រាស់រហូតដល់ឆ្នាំទី5បានឬក៏អត់ក៏យ៉ាងមិនដែរ
តែហ្នឹងគឺខ្ញុំមិនទាន់គិតដល់តែបើសិនជានេះហើយខ្ញុំត្រូវ set ជាឆ្នាំដោយសារតែមុខម្នាក់គាត់មានការផ្លាស់ប្ដូរអញ្ចឹងតែគាត់ខ្ញុំត្រៀមទុកជាពិសេសតែអាឡៃនេះគឺខ្ញុំមិនទាន់បានគិតដល់ថាប្រហែលឆ្នាំដូរម្ដងដែរព្រោះដឹងថាម្ដងរបស់ខ្ញុំហ្នឹងគឺមានសមត្ថភាពអាច detect បានមនុស្សប្រហែលឆ្នាំម្ដង
អរគុណខ្ញុំមានសំណួរប៉ុណ្ណឹង
Okay, so I have no question. Just like the same common for Piron as well. It is a research, and you have no experience before, and also it is only 2 months, and you have completed. Just a prototype in order to detect face, and I think it is good already. Just one comment on the presentation. You don't have to include the code. So yes, because like some part, some part in your presentation, you explain directly on the code. So it is like not really a good thing to include in the presentation. Yeah. Okay, so no more questions. So let's move to the next presentation. The topic is service de publicité et d'information sur le site web, and it will be presented by Mr. Chan. បត់មានអាច share បានទេបើសិនជាមានវីដេអូស្រាប់ហើយអាច share បាន ដល់អញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំមិន stream មិនវាអ៊ីនធឺណិតខ្ញុំវាអត់សូវ stable ដែរអាឡូបត់នៅហ្នឹងហើយគ្រូបាទគ្រូអូខេ
ខ្ញុំរកកន្លែងវីដេអូនៅអត់ឃើញពេលនេះទៅវាបង្ហាញចេញតែ3អត់ឃើញកន្លែង share វីដេអូ
អូខេជប់ខ្ញុំប្រហែលជាអត់ទាន់បានបើកឲ្យ participant share តែមិនដូចជាវត្តនា share បាន
អត់ទេខ្ញុំអាច share បានតែរកកន្លែងវីដេអូដែលខ្ញុំត្រូវ play នៅអត់ឃើញចាំ Hello teacher អត់ទៅលោកគ្រូឃើញនៅ
បានដែរឃើញឲ្យលើសំឡេងទៀតអត់អីអាច play បាន
Everyone, now I'm going to present about my internship at IDE Cambodia for 2 months during 2 August to 30 September by Mr. Validona as my academic supervisor and Mr. Kongsapon as my internship tutor. Here is my content that I'm going to talk about in this presentation. Introduction. Introduction to the company. IDE Cambodia is a non-profit international development organization based in the US, Canada, and UK. In our country, Cambodia, IDE has a program in agriculture, water supply, and rural sanitation. And this is the location and contact information of IDE Cambodia. Problematic. For problematic of the website that I developed, the app still needs some more improvement and will be more efficient for user if more functions are included to make the app more easier to use and still need update and upgrade the website. For objective for the internship is to help collecting and encoding information on agrochemical and other products to show on the website and let users know, to help accelerating and adoption of the app among small-scale farmers and other value chain actors, to help building staff capacity on information and technology, meaning teaching other staff because their knowledge of technology is limited, and joining meeting and sharing knowledge for technology in Saturday every 2 weeks. Second is the analysis and design. For function requirement, we can search all kinds of products that admin putting in order to podcast and have in the category in the website. See the name and content of the seller and description, price that have showing on the product putting in by admin. See all kinds of information about the website. For non-functionality, we have dark and light theme in progress because we not yet decide to put it in due to the same website. Fast click, multiple language. Example of the production on homepage that we can scrolling to see, and some short video and user interface. Planning. Planning for 2 months in the internship. On August 1st week, we have to participate in 6-month orientation and work introduction by IDE on agriculture and history of its program that have since its great IDE Cambodia. For 3 more weeks, we have building and teaching for project staff in IT. Photo taking include AI development and short filming for future use, and start coding web development. On September, we have 2 demonstrations in collecting and encoding the information of agro product in PDIC smartphone app, and website development, designing the website to look more better and add more function. For use case diagram, admin and user. For admin, first we have to log in and then we go to home page for admin to showing data, count seller, product, total, order, and revenue generate. It also have manage admin and product by include add, update, and delete. Also for view all the details. As for user, it can search order and viewer seller of the products. And here is some physical architecture related to web server and MySQL. For implementation, technology and language. Technology that I use in is CSS, PHP, JavaScript, and HTML. As for tool, it's PHP, MyAdmin, Draw.io, Visual Studio Code, and XAMPP. Here is some activity diagram of the website. The main focus is adding product by log into the admin and then add product into it with the information to grant access before its success. For workflow is admin can add product to make user seen and then order the product giving information back to admin. As you can see in this picture. For conclusion, this is the complete test function that have on the website. As for difficulty is I had to think about function to add because of designing style of the website and communication is interrupted due to COVID-19 and Siem Reap by lockdown a whole month on September. For experience that I received in this internship is learn how to use technology to solve problems in real life. Working environment in private company and teamwork. Knew that how to analyze the database design and implementation. Perspective of me is I have more time. I will trying to add more functions, something like rating and comment on product. One more is to complete the order function by making user can add the credit card to the website so it's easy to order online. Last is to design the website to look more better. That's all for the presentation. Thanks for listening and let's move to the demo. This is the website that I developed for Melon Association in Sysma project in IDA Cambodia. For homepage, as you can see, some non-functionality of scrolling, showing information and some short video tool.
ខ្ញុំគិតថាគ្មានអ្វីល្អជាងចំការទេ
And the about information of the Melon Association in the project. And this is the product and seller for the menu. We can go to the functionality of login by enter admin and password. In the dashboard, we can see the count of seller, count of product, total order, and revenue generated. For admin manager, we can add admin, change password, update, and delete. It shows that admin has added successfully. As for seller, it's the same. We can add by enter name, choosing file, and seller contact information. By using the feature and active to show it on the website of the seller. Product is also the same by adding name, description, price, and select image. Using the seller name, which one that is going to sell, and filter and active to show it on the website. This is the order menu that it will be shown when you order. By clicking order now, using quantities, name, phone number, and email address. So it will show that information about the order. That's all for the demo of the website that I'm showing. Chào bây giờ.
Okay, I have thank you, Janbot, for the presentation. I have some question. It's just a question related to the system. So do you update the website or you build it from scratch?
Yes, I build it.
Okay, and is there any similar platform for other kind of products such as rice or maybe other fruit or vegetable? And a similar platform that built by the organization?
No, what they want in the internship is to update and upgrade the app. So it's not related to the internship much. So they decide to let me get a whole new website for them to show on the internet for viewing.
So the existing one, there's something like the existing system that need to be upgraded, right?
Yes, the existing one is from mobile app.
Mobile. Okay. One more question. In the use case, I saw something like admin post product and then customer order it. The admin here and the farm can be farmer or like the dealer, like the middleman who collect all the product from the farmer and then resell it, or could it be the farmer?
It can be farmer or middleman because we can add admin in the website to show like here is when sorry
Yeah, you can have many admin, but for example, if there are different farmer and then the notification in the system, where if there's an order, can the notification notify to the admin who post the product, or the order, the data of order is visible for everyone, for any admin that is in the system?
yes, it can be visible to any admin because I haven't set the admin for.
Okay, I got it now. So I think that in this case the system should have only one admin, because you cannot have many farmer access to the system and then saw someone's else order, or access to some other farmer order or listed information. So for this point, I think it's better to keep only one admin. Maybe it's only the middleman who collect all the product from the farmer. That's all for the question from my part. Thank you.
Okay. Can you tell us about how you design your database? I cannot find it in your slide presentation.
It's just
Tell us Not every table, maybe just an important table. Tell us how you design it.
I wait.
Well, how is it? Just you don't need to show anything. Just speak. How did you design your database? How many tables? What are the tables? What are the relationship?
Yes. For database design, the relationship is they just showing on like when we trying to add something on the product or name or account of the seller, it will showing in data information in here on like in use case diagram. It will showing on data information about counting account of the seller, count of product, and the order, anything else like that. It just only showing when we put in data.
No, I'm not asking where it's shown. I'm asking how you design your database. For example, what are the tables that you are using? What are the relationship between tables? I'm talking about database design.
Or maybe like this. For database design, I just use when I get HTML, I convert it to core PHP and then connect it to PHP my admin without using anything else. Like all convert, everything is convert. Is that?
Because the system there's a mobile app already, so maybe the database already existed and you just get the data without building new database, or the system is separated from the mobile app, or is it a part of the whole big system?
No, the system is separate.
Separated, and the database is separated too, right?
Yes.
But there's a mobile app that that perform the similar thing.
Yes, it's similar, but in mobile app, it's only showing the product and not order, can order.
So you say you are not working on the back end, you don't design the database, you just working on the front end, mean like that?
Yes, on back end, I only manage to working on putting in data into it.
And does it have any API you call or what?
No, I don't have.
So if you don't have API, you query directly from the database. It's just that the database is already exists, like that.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, that's it from me.
Can I have some, not comment, just suggestion? Hello?
Yes.
I don't know the backend you're using or the front end, but the website looks not appropriate. I suggest you to study on the existing system. It's called SCAD, scad.org. You can go to that website, s-cad.org, and then you can have a free download system, which is having the front end. You can manage the, not manage, you can browse the products, search the product, booking or something like that, and the back end you have all of your feature on there, even user management, configuration, everything on there. If you want to learn more, you just go in there and check on it. And the technology they use, just a Laravel framework. And it might be the version 7 or 8, I'm not sure. And the limit of that system is, it is only for the single vendor system, not multiple vendor. It is an e-commerce system. You can go and study on it. Maybe you can upgrade it for your year 5 internship, maybe. That's all from me.
Yes, thank you, teacher.
Okay, so no more questions. So I have no question. Yes, so thank you, Bob, for the presentation. And let's move to the next one, the next presentation. Yes, the topic is inventory management and POS system. And it will be presented by Mr. Ho Chan Pisai.
Hello, teacher. I share the screen?
Okay, yes, please.
Sorry, teacher, do you hear sound?
ដូចជាអត់ឮសំឡេងឃើញរូបតែអត់ឮសំឡេង ពេលយើង share មានកន្លែងមួយដែល toggle ថាត្រូវ include computer sound ដើម្បីឲ្យយើងឮសំឡេងបាន
Hello, teacher. Do you hear some sound?
អត់ឮឥឡូវអត់ឃើញរូបទៀតដែលអត់តាំងឃើញ share
Shit.
About the project that I'm working on.
Okay, ឮហើយណា
Hello, teacher, and hello, everyone. My name is Jan Pisai. Today, I'm going to be presentation about the project that I'm working on during my internship. It's called Inventory Management and Cost System. First of all, I want to say thank you to Madam Churana. She is an advisor and also a lecturer in Department Shik. And I want to say thank you to Mr. Morina, who is a team leader and supervisor during my internship. For my internship, it starts from 15 July to 4th October 2021. And now let's move to the next slide. Here's our content that has 5 points: implementation, like introduction, analyzing and design, implementation, conclusion, and demonstration. So let's move to introduction. So I got an internship at Technology Solution Development, TSD called LTD. This company provide so many systems for the business owner, like hospital management system, school management system, HR management system, or also build an e-commerce website, uh, also build a mobile app, like a delivery app, and also provide the inventory management and cost system, and etc. So here's the contact information. Let's move to the next slide. So what is the inventory management and cost system? The inventory management and cost system is the existing web application that built by the team members in the company to help a business owner or a shop owner to manage the stock, staff, sell, product, and etc. And the purpose of the system is to bring the convenience and save time, save money for the business owner. So here is the dashboard of the system. Let's move to the next slide. Before we create the system, the owner, business owner, they want to know about the data. The business owner is really difficult if they have a problem to manage inventory, and they want to know about the report, monthly and profit and loss also, and they want to manage stock and customer. And for the objective here, as a system, they have we try to save time, save money for the business owner. We try to improve the inventory system and try to be better employee management system, and also get the real time about a report and data in the system. So let's move to the next slide, talking about analyzing and design. So here's the requirement test that I have to do during my internship. The first one is a function promotion by category. The second one is function that is report and alerted via Telegram, and function get product report and generated to Excel or PDF. Function get purchase item and can export or generate it to the Excel file, and also function count products item that sell during open register to the end of close register, and also support and train the clients who buy our system. So let's move to the next slide. So here's the physical architecture for the web application. We have a client side and server side. For the client side, also requires HTTP request to the web server, and we use the PHP to generate it or to communicate with the database and respond back to that from the database. And then when we get the final result, we respond back to the client side. So let's move to the next slide. So this is the logical architecture as follow like the physical architecture. But in the here we have index of PHP, index.php. We have routing, we have a security, we have application controller, and model, and library, language, and script or plugin, and we have view and caching. So this is the logical architecture using for connector or using concept RVC. So let's move to the next slide. So here is the use case diagram of the whole system, but I have mentioned some part of the system here. So in this use case diagram, we have three users. First one, admin. The second one, owner, and the last one is staff. For the staff, they also can use a function cell in the point of sale or cell in for sale. And for the owner, they can do anything. And for the admin, as a business owner, they can do anything, but they cannot add new warehouse. If they want to add new warehouse, okay, they must do contact to the team leader, and then we assign it into the system and we charge them. So let's move to the next slide. As I mentioned before, this system has already existed, built by the team members in the company. So they use Connector frameworks as the backend. They use Bootstrap, jQuery library, and for the language they use JavaScript, CSS, HTML, PHP, and the tool that I used during my internship, I used Blazor, Visual Code, Sublime Text, and for the local server, I use MySQL and one as servers. So let's move to the next slide. It's talking about implementation. So here's the activity diagram of the transition. So first of all, we start our cell, and then we just import the name of the tab or code of the product or read the output. And then we get the information of the product. After that, we go to the process of sale. In the process of sale, if the first item, we create a list of items and then add it into the list of items. Or if we have another item, we just add into the list of items. And then we calculate the total price, include tax and discount. And if they have a shipping, yes, include the shipping too. And for the add payment, they can add payment or cancel sale. And for the add payment, when they click on add payment, we have to update the inventory. For the update inventory, we go to check the product or item in the stock if it has yes, accept. But if not, we reorder another item. And for we have, and then we go to print a receipt or invoice, and we record the item sale. And so this is the end of the activity diagram of cell transaction. Let's move to next slide. So here's the complete task of my works that I'm working on during my internship. So I have to create and update some function here. Like I update function get product report and export it as Excel and PDF. I can update product get purchased item and can export it as Excel. And I create a function count item sold per day or sold during open and close register. And I also customize invoice and quotation for the clients. And I have to support the team member, like I have to insert data that refer to province, communes, village in Cambodia to the database servers. And I have also support and train the clients too. For during my internship, I have trained three clients who buy our system and support us as well. So let's move to the next slide. So here is the task. So the first one is a function promotion by category, function promotion that combine two different products, and function sell daily sell report and alerted for Telegram. So go to the conclusion here. For the difficulty during my internship, I have a lot of things, but I have a result 2 points. The first one is convert receipt or invoice from Khmer to PDF. It's really difficult because the library in the system don't respond it with the library, with the font command. And the second one is difficulty to understand the technical term in business flow. When I go to demo the web application for the system for the clients, and then they ask some technical term in the business flow, I difficult to understand, and so I can answer the question. So it's really difficult for me. And for the experience that I create for my internship, I know about the framework. I know about the jQuery library, and I know the technique to communicate with the clients as well. So for my expected perspective, if I have more time, I want to finish all incomplete tasks, and I want to convert the web application to the desktop application. So let's move to the last one is demonstration. So here I'm looking at earners. So now this is the dashboard of the system. So first I go to show you how to add a product in the system. So let's go to see the product in the system in list product. We have this product name test one, service test or something test like that. And we have already have code and brain, category, cost, price, quantity, unit, and alert quantity. And here we have action. For an action, we can delete, update, or see in detail, view in detail. So let's move to add new products. So here's the type of product. So I also use service because it's easy to test thing. And I add new name, or I put it's water like that. And here you can add code, product code, or click here to generate its auto. And you can add the brand or not. It depends on you. And you can add the category. I add drink, and I add price. For the price, I can add $1. And here you can add promotion or not. It depends on you. That depends on you. If you want to add promotion, here you can add like a percentage or a price. And you can add a start date and to the end of the date. So I don't want to edit it more. And let's move to this one is the product tags. So if your product has tags, you can add it, but it's not. Click on console, and you can add image too. And the last one, you just click add products here. So here's the product that I am already added to the system. So now let's go to click here on the detail. So the type of it is service, name, water, code, brand, no quantity, unit. So okay, fine. And I select the code here, and I go to cell in the post cell. So I pass the code here, or you can use barcode scanner. And I can cancel or add payment. If I click add payment, I add amount of it and accept, and I have submitted. So this is the invoice or our sales transaction. So here, but I don't want to print it out, so I go back to the post, and so we have a sale gift card for the customer. Also, we have a category here for drink and food. We have subcategory and brand like this. So we have some more data here. And now let's go to the report. So this here is the cell that I said during this day. So I have already said around this. This is the total, current total that I get is the total. And if you want to see more, you can see the monthly sale. So this is the monthly sale. That is November. That the total is here, and the September already is here, but October 0 because I don't have to sell anymore. But I don't have to testing over the application here. And you can see a lot of report like brand report, category report, adjustment, products, or product alert, or register report. And also you can see a tax report, a repurchase, one purchase also like this. Or you can see a sale report. It's all include every time, and it's so about the total price, grand total, and pay is balance also, and also show about the pay status also for you. So here is the end of my demonstration. Let's move to the slide. Thank you for your pay attention, and here is the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Hello, teacher.
Yes, thank you for the presentation. Question from the jury? Any question?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Besides, all the demonstration part is you have updated, developed or involved in it. All the function and feature that in the demonstration.
Not yet, teacher. It just existed in the system already, and I have some update for the report. Some report like I have mentioned in the video.
Okay. I heard that you also mentioned in the end of the presentation that you want to convert the application into desktop application. Is there a reason behind that? And could you tell me how to convert it, how to transform it into desktop application?
For the reason that's why I want to convert the web application to the desktop application. I have one experience that I'm going to train the client that she live in Stung Treng province. It's so far away from Phnom Penh, and so Telecom has a bad connection. So when I go to train to train her, it's really difficult our system because running so slowly because our system running on the server. So when I go to train, I need to connect to the internet, and for the internet here or there, so it's really bad connection, and so she also reject our system, and this is a problem for me. And I know if I try to convert the system to the local system like a desktop application and running on the database like our local testing or testing, it's easy for her maybe. And for the technique to convert the from web application to the desktop application. As I mentioned in the report, I used some tool to like I use some script to run the auto open the tablets and and XAMPP server when the user open the system or a machine, and then the tablet and XAMPP server auto open it, and then I tried to convert the source code of PHP to the application, desktop application, like .exe, yes. But I forget the name of the tool that I used before. I already researched about it before.
So the application, I think it maybe it's still web application, just that there's a way to use it or to install it easily by converting it to .ee installation file maybe. But I guess the application, the architecture behind is still web application, right? You still need a web server, you still need database server, you still need web server, right?
It's just a local server.
Yeah, local server, but you still need a partial, and that's a part PHP script, right?
Yes.
So the idea is still web server, just that you run it locally and make it easy to install. Okay,
Yep.
Thank you for the answer.
Yes. So, and by the way, that POS or inventory system, is it normally when you deploy to a new customer, is it you just give them an account to use it, or you set up a new server for them?
First of all, for the team members, team leaders, they set up a new server for the customer and then give the account user to them. This is a technique to when the customer buy our system for one.
Yeah, I'm just curious and how the business work. My question here is, can the customer have your source code, or maybe can they use it with minimal? Let's say they have multiple shop. Can they purchase only once and then they can deploy it by themselves for multiple shop? Can they do that?
No, teacher. If they use a multiple shop, they need to add more warehouse, or like if they have a multiple warehouse, they add more warehouse and we charge more. And for if they don't want to add more warehouse, they need to buy another system or one more system.
Yeah, because you mentioned about setting up a local server. Because when you set up a local server, it does mean that I have full access to the source code. I can just copy it and run it on the machine, right? So how can you control the license? Yeah.
This is I don't know too, but this is my thinking because so I have a problem, a real problem with the client, but I don't think about the license here.
All right. Just my concern and some something I don't understand. Anyway, you mentioned about the system is already built and you're working on some report, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell me about the environment while working in your company, in the company? How is it?
For the first time when I go to the company, they welcome me as well. And yes, we as a student too, we can connect to each other as a team leaders. He also a student in university and easy to communicate. And also we have some eat lunch together. We have some discussion. So we have problem. We we try to solve together. And for the environment as well for me. And I get for teamwork and have working with the client also for demonstration and training clients.
And so how did they divide tasks? did they use any like sprint or something, or how they assign you tasks, and how they move back if you have done it or not, or like that in your company?
For the task, teacher, for the task always come from the client. When I support the client, example, I have support one customer. So if they want to create more function or they want to create some function in the system, they just to alert in the system and then in the Telegram group. And then I try to create the function. And after I try to create the function, I have to show the team leader first and show about the result. And after that, I push it into the server. And this is the logic for me to do this.
Okay, all right. Thank you for your presentation. Good job.
Thank you, teacher.
Okay, any more questions from the jury? Okay, so there's no more question. I have only one comment on the presentation. Maybe you can go back to slide number 5, I think, about the objective of
this one, teacher.
Yes, this one. Yes, it's just my suggestion because when we talk about the objective of your work, it is the thing that you can realize it at the end of your work. Okay, so for example, if you put save time and money, so yes, it is the benefit of the system, but I don't think it is really the objective of your work because in order to prove that the system can save time and money, yes, it is just an example. You have to conduct like a survey, and then like the first survey before you before using the system, and after using the system, you conduct another survey in order to compare the cost or something like that. Yes, so yeah, so I don't think that it is the thing that you should put in the objective. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, teacher, I got it.
Yeah, yes.
Thank
So,
you,
for
teacher.
example, for your work, you can put like the objective of my work is to develop a POS system, something like that.
Yeah.
Yes, and also the last one, the last objective, it is possible to be the objective, get real-time actionable reports and data. I think it can be realized in the scope of your work. But for the first three, I don't think it is really the objectives of your work. Okay, I have only this one comment. Thank you.
Thank you, teacher, for your comment.
Okay, yes. So the last presentation, let's move to the last presentation of today, of this morning session. The presenter is Mr. Liang Kim Heng, and the topic is M circle.
ចឹងខ្ញុំ share screen មែនលោកគ្រូ
Ba bạnជួយ share មក តែពេល share យើង toggle បើក include computer sound ហ្មងដើម្បី
លោកគ្រូឃើញខ្ញុំ share ហើយលោកគ្រូ
បាទឃើញ
Hello teacher and hello លោកគ្រូឮសំឡេងអត់លោកគ្រូ
បាទឮ
Hello teacher and hello everyone. I'm Lee Kim Heng. Today I'm so pleased to present to all of you about Untitled Project. Before I get started, I would like to thank to my advisor is Bong Eng Meng Thong and my supervisor is teacher Chun Thang Waret. And here is my content that I will talk about introduction, analysis and design, implementation, conclusion and demonstration. For introduction, I have 3 main points such as general internship, problematic, and objective. So let's move to general internship. I got intern at Masaiko Co. already, which start from 19 July to 30 September 2021. Masaiko Co. already is a company which provide a web or mobile application for business in Cambodia. For my team, I have Bong Ung Meng Thong as advisor and development is Linh Kim Heng. So let's go to the next point, problematic. Most people have difficult to find a job or hire. They need to spend a lot of time and money to play by place and also slow for applying job. So let's move to the next point, objective. Upcycle provide easy way for people to find a job or hire and applying job while online. We can reduce time and money and also connect them with technology and modern. For analysis and design, I have 5 points such as requirement, planning, physical architecture, diagram, and choice technologies. For requirement, the company provides features such as productivity, job, event, additional feature, user profile, more, resume, out, and notification. Let's move to the planning. In the first week, I have learned new technology and analyze requirement. And after the first week, I have Spring 1 for out, Spring 2 for productivity, and so on. And you can also see in the table. For physical architecture, we have client can request to web server and web server request to the database. When the web server responds from the database, the web server will respond to the client. And about use case diagram, we have productivity. We have user can create, read, update, delete, to-do list, trip, plan, and meeting, which include all the education, and also have a job, which allow user can create, date, business page, create, read, update, job, close and open job, applying job, and search job, and also include all the education. And still have user profile, which allow user can update info, change password, verify account, include authentication, and resume, which allow user can create, read, update, delete on experience, education, training, software, languages, skill, attachment file, and URL, and also include all the education. So let's move to the last point, choice technology. All technologies used for develop upcycle project such as Vue.js, Router, UX, Firebase, and so on. And about the languages, I use HTML, CSS, JS, and for the version control of the system, I use Bitbucket. And the last one is the tool that I use for build upcycle project is Visual Studio Code. So let's move to implementation. In implementation, we have created to-do plus list, trip, plan, and meeting workflow, which allow user to log in. If the user login success, user can select one feature such as to-do plus list, trip, plan, or meeting. For example, if the user click on to-do plus list, user need to create list before create to-do. For the create list, the system will pop out a modal that allow user to fill name and choose color. And if the user click button done, user success create list. And about create to do, the system will check that the user have one list or not. If no, user need to create list. If yes, user can create to do, and the system will pop out a modal that allow user to fill a form and also check the requirement field. If yes, user can click button done and success create to do in the list. For trip, plan, and meeting, three of them are the same create workflow. When the user wants to create trip, plan, or meeting, the system will show a modal that user can fill a form, and the system will check the requirement field. If yes, user can click button done to success create three of them. For create job workflow, user need to log in. If success, the system will check that the user have one business page or not. If no, user need to create business page first. If yes, user can select the business page and create the job. The system will pop up a modal that allow user to fill a form and also check the requirement field. If yes, user can click on button done to success create business page and job. And apply job workflow, user need to log in. If success, user can view job detail. If the user click on the button apply, the system will get info from user resume into the modal that allow user to uncheck or check the information that user want to apply. If the user click button done, the information that user have been checked will be sent to the business that have posted that job. So let's move to conclusion. In conclusion, I would like to show about my complete and incomplete feature. As you see in the table, some features are completed and some are uncompleted. And for the last point of conclusion is summary. When I intern, I have some difficulty with applying new features such as notification, OTP verify, and so on, because it's really new for me that I have not learned before. And also design UI. After I finish my intern, I have more improved on UJS, UX, Flutter, and I get some more experience on working environment in company and learn how to solve a problem that I face in the project. For my perspective on the project, I want to improve UI and finish and complete feature. So let's move to demonstration. So this is a sign-in page that allows user to sign in if the user already signed up. So let me sign in first. If the user login success, user can access to the system. And I want to create to-do, so I need to select on the menu productivity, click on the feature to-do. As you see, I already have 4 lists and I want to create new list. Click on the button create list, field name, choose color, and click on button done. So we got new list. And I want to create to do in the study list. So click on the button create to do, field title, set date, choose repeat, also choose priority, also ping location, get current location. We can select the folder or list that we want to create in. So I select on the study and choose image and set the progress and click on button done. As you see, I have one to do in the study list. So I click on the study list. Then you will see the to do that I have created before. And also we can click on the image and edit to do. I want to edit the title, so I click on button save. So the title is changed and I want to delete to do. Click on the button and then we need to confirm that we want to delete or not. So I click on yes. So the to do that I have created before will be deleted. Then I want to create job. Let's go to me, click on the dashboard. For dashboard page, user can create business or create job. You can see here all of them are the business page that I have created before. So let me choose on a web business page and click on the button create job, fill position, position level, and so on. So let me fill. And we also can upload the image. So let me choose one image and we also have a crop image. And then we click button done. We have success create one job. Then I want to use another account to apply to this job. This is another account and we select on the job menu and we will see the job that have been posted by web business page. So we click on this job and we will see the information that we have created before, like a picture, salary, cloth date, and so on. So I want to apply to this job, click on the button apply, and the system will get an info from resume, and you can uncheck or check the info that you want to apply to the business page. So let me uncheck the language, and then click the button done. Then let's go to our account to see the information that I have applied. And you can see here, Kim Hae Liang has applied position web programming. Let's check the information that Kim Hae Liang has applied. So this is the information that Kim Hae Liang has applied to this job. And then I would like to show you how to add the resume. Here is the resume page that has personal information, experience, education, training, softwares, languages, skills, attachment file, and URLs. So let me show you about update personal information by click on the button. Now you see that you can update or add information about yourself. So let me update my information. And you see here the information that I have just added, and I want to add my experience by clicking on the button, and let me add my experience. After created, I can edit or delete by clicking on the button, and I want to edit the company name. Click button cell, and as you see here, the information has edited. And I also want to add my education. And then I want to add more software by rating the star, and I want to edit it, and I would like to show you how to add attachment file. Choose file, click on the PDF, and click button save. And then I want to show you how to upload a file and cover. So let's go to me, click on the username, and you will see the button upload cover. So click on the button. And we can view the cover, and we also can delete the cover. And about the profile, you can click on the camera button, and we also can view the profile and delete. After that, I would like to show you how to create a post. So let's go to home, click on the button start a post, write something, and click on post. And I would like to show you about OTP verify when the user forgot a password. So click on the link for password, input your number phone, click on reset button. Here is the code that Firebase sent to my phone. So click on the confirm. So I can change the new password and confirm password. And then click save. So you reset password success. So my presentation will come to the end, and thank you for your attention. If you have some question, you can ask.
Oh, thank you, Kam Heng, for the presentation. I have some question. I just curious about the idea behind the whole system, like why they have the idea of combining like productivity with job announcement, but even why they combine the three things together, and who would be the target user of the system, and how the whole platform can generate revenue from the service that it provide. So that is the question about the general idea about the whole system. There's one more question about the job. Like someone apply for the job announcement, right? Um, I just curious. If people can update their profiles, for example, update the working experience, update the skill. Yeah, as the time go by, people can improve, right? Can be more advanced in their skill. So when once the profile is updated, how about the previous job application, like they apply for the job where in the past where the level of skill is, for example, level 1, something like that, and then after updating the profile, I mean, to level 3 or something, if they go if user go back to the old job application, would they see the current profile or the profile from the past? So the idea is if the history of the profile, how it changed from one state to one state, is stored in the system or not, and the data is still correct for as time go by or not. So there's 2 questions. You still remember the question, right?
I'm not catch it well, but for the last question, if like before you have information on the resume is level 1, and then you apply to the job, and after that you update the info the resume to level 3. So the previous information that you apply to the job is still get the info that ខ្ញុំចង់និយាយថាពេលដែលយើង apply job ហ្នឹងហើយនៅពេលដែលយើង update info ទៅទៀតក៏ job ដែលយើង apply ពីមុនហ្នឹងក៏យើងនៅតែ get information ព័ត៌មានចាស់ហ្នឹងដែរតែបើសិនជាយើង update resume ហ្នឹងថ្មីហើយយើងទៅ apply job ហ្នឹងម្ដងទៀតយើងត្រូវ get resume ហ្នឹងថ្មីទៀតម្ដងអញ្ចឹងនៅពេលដែលគេ apply ទៅបាន resume ថ្មីអត់បាន resume ចាស់ទេ
អញ្ចឹងត្រូវ update resume គាត់ហ្នឹងរហូតរាល់លើកដែលគាត់ apply job ណាមួយមានអីអត់មានមិនតែគាត់មានស្រាប់ហើយគាត់គ្រាន់តែប្រាប់ថាគាត់ apply for job ហ្នឹងចប់ឯមែនទេ
អត់ទេមកដាក់គាត់និយាយទៅគាត់ update តែម្ដងឯងម្ដងបើសិនជាគាត់ update នៅក្នុង resume ហ្នឹងប្រហែលពេលដែលគាត់ចង់ apply job ហ្នឹងយើងត្រូវយក data ពី resume របស់គាត់មកអញ្ចឹងពេលដែលគាត់ update ហើយអស់ហើយពេលយើងចង់ apply ទៅយើងត្រូវ get data resume ពីរបស់គាត់ហ្នឹងមកដាក់នៅក្នុង model ដែលយើងចង់ឲ្យគាត់ apply ហ្នឹងហើយគាត់អាច
អញ្ចឹងសំណួរទី1ខ្ញុំបកទៅសំណួរទី1វិញខ្ញុំឆ្ងល់ហេតុមកគេ combine feature productivity ហ្នឹងជាមួយនឹង job announcement ផងហើយជាមួយនឹង event ផងឲ្យមក combine របស់ហ្នឹងចូលគ្នាហើយ target user យើងជាប្រភេទមនុស្សប្រភេទណាជា business ជាមនុស្សធម្មតាឬក៏មិនហើយ system ហ្នឹងរកចំណូលបានដោយក្បួនណាដោយមធ្យោបាយណា
ចំពោះសំណួរទី1ហ្នឹងខ្ញុំអត់សូវច្បាស់ដែរម្ដងប៉ុន្តែចំពោះក្រុមហ៊ុនគាត់ឲ្យខ្ញុំធ្វើជាលក្ខណៈពីapp ទូរស័ព្ទហ្នឹងនិយាយទៅគាត់មាន app ក្នុងទូរស័ព្ទហើយចំពោះ circle ហ្នឹងអញ្ចឹងទៅគាត់ចង់ឲ្យខ្ញុំ develop ពី app ហ្នឹងទៅ web អញ្ចឹងទៅខ្ញុំគាត់ឲ្យខ្ញុំ follow តាម app របស់ក្នុងទូរស័ព្ទហ្នឹងអញ្ចឹងទៅខ្ញុំធ្វើតាម app ហ្នឹង app នៅក្នុង app ហ្នឹងក៏មានដូចជា productivity មានជា event មានជា job អីចឹងដែរម្ដងតមកចំពោះuser វិញគាត់ឲ្យ focus ទៅលើ only user can do all យ៉ាងថាធ្វើទាំងអស់គាត់អាចជាបង្កើតជា business page ខ្លួនឯងក៏បានគាត់ចង់ post ជា job ក៏បានគាត់ចង់ apply ទៅ job អ្នកណាផ្សេងក៏បានអញ្ចឹងមានថា user មានតែ user តែម្នាក់ឯងអាចធ្វើ function ទាំងអស់នៅក្នុង website ហ្នឹងបាន
ចាខ្ញុំសរសំណួរមួយទៀតតាមការសង្កេតរបស់យើងនៅលើ mobile app ហ្នឹងយើងសង្កេតឃើញព្រោះ mobile app ហ្នឹងមិនដឹងថាមាន launch ហើយនៅ target user គេភាគច្រើនជាប្រភេទមនុស្សប្រភេទមិនដែរជាអ្នកនៅ position អីគេ career អីគេដែរតើមានបាន launch ហើយនៅ
ខាង user ហ្នឹងខ្ញុំអត់សូវច្បាស់ប៉ុន្មានណាម្ដងព្រោះគាត់គ្រាន់តែប្រាប់ឲ្យខ្ញុំ develop ពី mobile ទៅ web គាត់អត់មាននិយាយប្រាប់ថា user ហ្នឹងមិនតែគាត់មាន app application នៅក្នុង mobile ហើយចំពោះ Untitled
អូខេអរគុណច្រើនសម្រាប់ចម្លើយ
បាទអរគុណ
Okay, maybe I have a question. It is similar to what Nekru Vanna has already asked. So maybe Do you know like what does the letter M stand for in the M circle?
I'm not sure about stand for teacher because the company just told me that cycle, but I'm not quite sure that stand for. Maybe it stand for mark cycle because the company is mark cycle.
Okay, so it is not really related to the functions of the system. It's just the name. Yes, one more question is about the job, about the feature related to job and hiring. Because I think the main point here is the job matching. So for example, if I am looking for a job as a Java programmer, so what steps do I need to take in the system? And vice versa, if I am like a company looking to hire a Java programmer, what should I do if I am one of the users in the system?
អរគុណលោកគ្រូចំពោះសំណួរចំពោះបើសិនជាលោកគ្រូចង់ស្វែងរក job ចំពោះ Java អញ្ចឹងលោកគ្រូអាច search នៅក្នុង feature job នោះបានយើងមានជាប្រភេទ search ធម្មតានិង advanced job search ធម្មតាមានថាយើង search ដូចជា Java អញ្ចឹងយើង search ដាក់ Java តែបើចំពោះ advanced job យើងអាច search ជា Java ហើយយើងអាច search ជា part time អាច search ជាprice salary ពីប៉ុន្មានទៅប៉ុន្មានអញ្ចឹងចំពោះលោកគ្រូចង់ hire វិញលោកគ្រូត្រូវបង្កើត business page មួយហើយលោកគ្រូ post ជាថាបង្កើត business page ហើយលោកគ្រូ post job នៅក្នុង business page ហ្នឹងថាលោកគ្រូត្រូវការស្វែងរក job អ្នកធ្វើការផ្នែកនេះអញ្ចឹងលោកគ្រូហើយចំពោះ post លោកគ្រូអាចpost នៅក្នុង post បានដែរ
អូខេប៉ុន្តែអញ្ចឹងអត់មានជាលក្ខណៈថា automatic feature ដែលអាច match information ដែលខាងក្រុមហ៊ុន provide ហើយបន្ទាប់មកអាច return ជា applicants ដែលត្រូវជាមួយនឹងអ្វីដែលគេចង់ស្វែងរកហ្នឹងអញ្ចឹងបានន័យថាតើតាពេលដែលក្រុមហ៊ុនបង្កើតជា page ហើយ post position ហ្នឹងទៅតើតា user ផ្សេងទៀតដែលចង់ដែលជា candidate ដើម្បី apply job ហ្នឹងអ្នក submit ឬមួយក៏អ្នក contact ទៅក្រុមហ៊ុនខ្លួនឯងឬមកក៏មិនដែរ
ពេលដែល user ផ្សេងហ្នឹងគាត់ apply ទៅលើ job ហ្នឹងហើយអញ្ចឹងលោកគ្រូជាម្ចាស់ business page ហ្នឹងលោកគ្រូចូលទៅមើលក្នុង business page ហ្នឹងឃើញ user ផ្សេងគេ apply អញ្ចឹងលោកគ្រូអាច view ទៅ detail ហ្នឹងបានពេលដែលលោកគ្រូ view ហ្នឹងហើយលោកគ្រូឃើញ information ដែលគេapply ហ្នឹងមានដូចជាលេខទូរស័ព្ទឈ្មោះអីចឹងបើសិនជាលោកគ្រូពេញចិត្តអញ្ចឹងលោកគ្រូអាចតាក់ទងទៅថា call តាមទូរស័ព្ទទៅបុគ្គលហ្នឹងលោកគ្រូ
អូខេហ្នឹងហើយព្រោះខ្ញុំគិតថាសម្រាប់ platform តាក់ទងជាមួយនឹងការងារហ្នឹងវាគួរតែមានfeature ដែលអាច match ព្រោះតាមពិតទិន្នន័យយើងមានមិនចឹងយើងមានទិន្នន័យតាក់ទងជាមួយនឹងអ្នកដែលចង់ស្វែងរកការងារហ្នឹងយើងមាននៅក្នុងsystem របស់យើងហើយយើងគ្រាន់តែធ្វើមិន match ហ្នឹងជាមួយនឹងអ្នកដែលចង់ hire ហើយក៏ដូចគ្នាដែរអ្នកដែលចង់ apply ហ្នឹងក៏អាចបានន័យថា system ជាអ្នក suggest មកថាតើមាន job ណាខ្លះដែលមានក្រុមហ៊ុនណាខ្លះដែលគេកំពុងតែស្វែងរក employee ដែលត្រូវជាមួយនឹង field នឹងអញ្ចឹងបានន័យថា system នេះអត់តមាន feature របៀបថា job matching automatic នោះទេ
បាទតាមមាន
ហើយហ្នឹងហើយមួយសំណួរទៀតគ្រាន់តែចង់ដឹងដោយសារអ្វីវាច្រើនដែរដូចអ្នកគ្រូបណ្ណាលើកឡើងអញ្ចឹងវាក្នុង M circle នោះវាមានតាំងពីតាក់ទងជាមួយនឹង task management តាក់ទងជាមួយនឹង job management ហើយមានជា profile មានអាចជារបៀបដូច social media ទៀតអញ្ចឹងហ្នឹងយើងធ្វើទាំងអស់ឬមួយក៏មិនយើងម្នាក់ឯងធ្វើគ្រប់នឹងហ្មងឬមួយអ្វីដែលបានបង្ហាញហ្នឹងឬមួយក៏គ្រាន់តែធ្វើផ្នែកណាមួយក្នុងទេ
ខ្ញុំធ្វើទាំងអស់លោកគ្រូក្នុង requirement ហ្នឹងខ្ញុំធ្វើអ្នក develop ទាំងអស់ប៉ុន្តែខ្ញុំក្នុង feature មួយវាច្រើនពេកចឹងទៅខ្ញុំ demo តាកន្លែងសំខាន់ហ្នឹងព្រោះនៅក្នុង productivity ហ្នឹងចំពោះ to do មួយ trip ហ្នឹងអត់សូវស្មុគស្មាញប៉ុន្មានទេប៉ុន្តែក្នុង trip ហ្នឹងវារៀងស្មុគស្មាញក្នុង trip ហ្នឹងយើងបង្កើត trip ហើយយើងអាចបង្កើត trip នៅក្នុង trip ហ្នឹងមួយទៀតហើយមកនៅក្នុង trip ហ្នឹងមួយទៀតយើងអាចជា add user ហ្នឹងជា owner អាច add member ចូលក្នុង trip ហ្នឹងទៀតហើយចំពោះ business page ក៏អញ្ចឹងដែរអាចជាយើងអាចupdate business page ហើយអាច add member ចូលទៅ business page ហ្នឹង set owner set rule set អីទៀត
ហ្នឹងហើយប៉ុន្តែបានថា workflow ទាំងអស់ហ្នឹងគឺមានហើយព្រោះយើងលើកឡើងវិញថាមានជា mobile application ហើយតែអញ្ចឹងមានដូចជា database ដូចអីមានហើយអស់យើងគ្រាន់តែបង្កើតជា web application វិញ
បាទនិយាយទៅខ្ញុំធ្វើតែ front end គាត់ក្រុមហ៊ុនគាត់ provide API មកឲ្យខ្ញុំហើយមកខ្ញុំយក API ហ្នឹងដើម្បីធ្វើបង្កើត front end ហ្នឹងនៅពេលដែលគេ input data អីហ្នឹងខ្ញុំគ្រាន់តែយក data បោះទៅ API ហ្នឹងទៅហើយនិយាយទៅខ្ញុំធ្វើតែ front end នេះ
អូខេហើយអរគុណខ្ញុំមានតែប៉ុណ្្នឹង
អរគុណ
any other questions from our jury
ខ្ញុំអត់មានទេណា
Okay Vanat any question
បានគ្រូខ្ញុំនិយាយខ្មែរមកទៅអញ្ចឹងជាទូទៅបើសិនជាក្នុងករណីយើង start នៅលើ back end ឬក៏ front end ដែលយើងធ្វើដាច់ពីរអញ្ចឹងគួរតែ mention ព្រោះតែមុនហ្នឹងក៏ខ្ញុំចង់មាន question តាក់ទងជាមួយនឹង scope of work ដែរព្រោះតែបើយើងដាក់មកអញ្ចឹងមាន include មានអីអញ្ចឹងមានន័យថាយើងធ្វើទាំង back end ចង់អញ្ចឹងណាអញ្ចឹងនៅក្នុងហ្នឹងជៀសវាងពេល start design គួរតែ specify ថាយើងធ្វើលើ front end ឬក៏ back end ព្រោះតែដោយសារតែក្នុង project របស់យើងដែល present មកនិយាយទៅរបស់ច្រើនទី1ទី2អត់ឃើញមាន database explanation អញ្ចឹងបើក្នុងករណីហ្នឹងយើងគួរតែ mention តាក់ទងជាមួយនឹង scope of work របស់យើងតាក់ទងនឹងសំណួរខ្ញុំចង់សួរថានៅ front end គេប្រើ Vue.js តើ
បាទ
ហើយក្នុងរយៈពេល2ខែហ្នឹងគឺយើងធ្វើអ្វីយើង demo គឺធ្វើទាំងអស់ហ្នឹងហ្មងតើ
បានលោកគ្រូខ្ញុំធ្វើទាំងអស់2ខែខ្ញុំធ្វើតាំងពីដើមមកទាំងអស់front end activity អីខ្ញុំធ្វើទាំងអស់ម្នាក់ឯង
Okay អញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំចង់សួរមួយគ្រាន់តែ do you have any difficulty regarding design front page in Vue.js វាថាមានផលលំបាកអត់ឬក៏មាន challenge អីអត់ក្នុងការធ្វើ design front end
មានលោកគ្រូពេលខ្លះខ្ញុំពិបាក handle មែនតើចឹងថាពេលខ្លះយើងចុចខ្ញុំចង់ឲ្យវា pop ជា modal ភាគច្រើននៅពេលដែលយើងចង់ edit ឬក៏ update អីខ្ញុំចង់ឲ្យវា pop ជា modal ហើយច្រើនតែពេលខ្លះក្នុង feature ខ្លះខ្ញុំធ្វើpop ឲ្យវា pop ជា modal ហ្នឹងអត់ចាញ់ទេចឹងទៅខ្ញុំត្រូវទៅបង្កើត page មួយទៀតដើម្បីធ្វើជា edit ព្រោះខ្ញុំអត់ច្បាស់ថាដោយសារតែកម្រិតខ្ញុំអត់ទាន់ដល់ឬក៏មិនទេពេលដែលខ្ញុំ apply ទៅវាអត់ចាញ់ខ្ញុំចង់ឲ្យអាហ្នឹងវា pop ជា modal ប៉ុន្តែវាអត់ចាញ់អញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំត្រូវទៅបង្កើត page មួយទៀតដើម្បីកើត feature ដែលខ្ញុំចង់ pop modal ហ្នឹងទៅក្នុងហ្នឹងវិញហើយមួយទៀតខ្ញុំពេលបញ្ហាដែលខ្ញុំនៅធ្វើក្រុមហ៊ុនហ្នឹងខ្ញុំអត់ច្បាស់ថាមកពីអ្វីដែរនៅពេលដែលខ្ញុំ run នៅលើ local ខ្ញុំឃើញ page ហ្នឹងដែលខ្ញុំ develop ហ្នឹងស្អាតឃើញដូចស្អាតចឹងតែដល់ពេលខ្ញុំចង់ run build នៅក្នុង run build ហ្នឹងទៅខ្ញុំបែរជា page ហ្នឹងវាឃើញទៅចេះចុះអត់ស្អាតវិញអត់ស្អាតដូច local ចឹងទៅខ្ញុំអត់គាត់ថាហ្នឹងមកពីហេតុអីដែរ
យើងប្រើ Vuetify អត់ទេនៅក្នុង Vue.js ហ្នឹងឬក៏ Vue bootstrap
ខ្ញុំប្រើតែ Vue.js មួយលោក Vue.js version 3
អូខេជាទូទៅមុនយើង design អញ្ចឹងមានគេគូស mock up ឲ្យហើយឬក៏យើង start នឹកឃើញធ្វើអញ្ចឹង
ខ្ញុំគេច្រើនអត់មាន UI ផងគ្រូព្រោះខ្ញុំមើលតាមទូរស័ព្ទ របស់ app ក្នុងទូរស័ព្ទហ្នឹងហើយខ្ញុំក៏ apply ខ្លួនឯងប៉ុន្តែនៅពេលខ្លះនៅក្នុងទូរស័ព្ទ feature វាផ្សេងអញ្ចឹងទៅខ្ញុំត្រូវ run នឹកត្រូវធ្វើមិនដើម្បីលើ web ហ្នឹងឲ្យវាស្តៀងនឹងទូរស័ព្ទដែរអញ្ចឹងមានថាក្រុមហ៊ុនអត់មាន UI ខ្ញុំទេគឺខ្ញុំអ្នក design ខ្លួនឯងពេលដែលហើយចង្ការខ្ញុំ design ទៅប្រើ Figma ចំពោះ login ឬក៏ sign up page ហ្នឹងខ្ញុំ design នៅលើ Figma ហើយបើខ្ញុំ apply ប៉ុន្តែខ្ញុំខ្លាច design ទៅខាត់ពេលយូរធ្វើអត់បានច្រើនក៏ខ្ញុំឈប់ design UI ទៅលើ Figma ហ្នឹងខ្ញុំចាប់ផ្ដើមគិតហើយ apply គិតហើយ apply ហ្នឹងមក
អូខេខ្ញុំខ summarize វិញតិចយើងមានបញ្ហាតាក់ទងជាមួយនឹងធ្វើ model pop-up លើ view ប៉ុន្តែបើយោងទៅតាម result វិញខ្ញុំឃើញច្រើនគួរសមដែរអញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំគិតថាវាគួរតែ possible ក្នុងការ apply វាហើយខ្ញុំឃើញដូចជាមាន pop-up មួយនៅកន្លែងធ្វើ resume តាមមើលតាម demo តែគេលើខ្ញុំអត់ច្បាស់អញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំគិតថាហើយយើងអាច check មើលម្ដងទៀតហើយខ្ញុំមានតែ question ប៉ុណ្្នឹងឯងចឹងអរគុណ
Okay, I think there's no more question from
ទូចមួយទៀតតែសំណួរហ្នឹងវាយើងចប់ទៅតែដំណើរអាច stop record បានទេ
okay